Hi, everybody, and greetings on this Wednesday, which is also the 25th day of the month. Thank you so much for tuning in and spending a little time with us. On the radar for this evening, the thin line of showers that came through and appeared outside and on our radar earlier today, just a short time ago. The remnants, of course, of which we're still seeing a thin line of showers tonight, some scattered rain, and snow showers in your forecast for tomorrow. Pretty much some snow showers and or flurries here and there throughout much of your weekend, as we'll see temperatures take a dive. Beautiful out there for a few hours today. I rolled the window down for the first time, with the exception of maybe the drive-through or the bank, for the first time in several days in short sleeves, or even a nice thing to have earlier. But we'll drop 30 degrees from today's high to tonight's low, and tomorrow's high as well, because we're not really going to climb anywhere from tonight's low. That's the effects of a cold front. I'll tell you more about in just a few moments. A McGough do not take jail for trafficking in marijuana and other offenses. The Johnson County Sheriff's Department says a safety checkpoint led them to find a felony in the possession of a firearm, methamphetamine, heroin, pills, guns, cash, and more, and also serious charges. Police were just this afternoon asking for the public's help in regards to finding a man charged with raping and sodomizing a child. He's been jailed in the Big Sandy Regional Detention Center as of just earlier this afternoon. We'll talk more about that. And we had Marlena Van Hoos and a host of other Kentucky connections at the presidential inauguration and the ceremonies before and afterward. One we're just now finding out about that had to deal with a Sayersville business and their product being front and center during the inaugurational parade. And we'll cover that too as well this evening. And in fact, I'll begin with all that in about 60 seconds. Hey everybody, come and check out our pet of the week. This is Carter, a real people person and a very loving feline. And he's very healthy. He weighs 12 pounds. He loves to talk and will make a wonderful addition to your home. So come and meet Carter, or any of the other fabulous faces that are sure to put a smile on yours, at Whiskers or Wags, the Johnson County Animal Shelter, where you can always drop by to drop off a bag of food or $1 or $2, or to be a volunteer, or call 297-PETS. A report that we'll be talking about, I believe, before the week's end is that of an update on Johnny Cash. I had the privilege to sit down with a lot of folks, an in-depth story into their pet and friend and classmate, even if you will, for many at South McGough Elementary after he was killed, their mascot as well for the past several years. And then, of course, we tied that to an effort that was, they believe, very befitting, in that trying to raise funds and attention to the backpack program here in not just South McGough Elementary, but in the McGough County school system. And Johnny Cash has inspired a lot of folks apparently to do just that. And we'll be bringing you that story in a follow-up very, very soon. Tonight's first headline comes actually from the Johnson County Sheriff's Department, where a traffic safety checkpoint resulted in a convicted felon in possession of a firearm, but he also had with him pills, methamphetamine, heroin, cash, and more. It happened in a traffic safety checkpoint at a designated location late last night. It happened last night in the South Side area, specifically on Route 321, where Johnson County Sheriff Dwayne Price says that he and his deputies were conducting a traffic safety checkpoint, and in doing so were approached by a 1996 Jeep Cherokee which pulled up. Behind the wheel of that Jeep, they say, was 60-year-old Hank P. Pelfrey of Turkey Creek in Langley, Kentucky. They say upon him approaching the traffic stop, they noticed, looking through the window, what was an open beer container inside the cup holder of the Jeep, and they also observed upon their initial observation that Pelfrey appeared to be intoxicated or under the influence. So they proceeded to give him a field sobriety test, which he failed, and after confirming that he indeed was intoxicated, they were granted consent by Pelfrey to search his Jeep, and in doing so they found crystal methamphetamine, several various prescription pills, an amount of marijuana, and a brown powdery substance that they believe is heroin, as well as 2 handguns, a set of scales for weighing drugs, and about $1,050 in cash. Deputy Jesse Bullins took Pelfrey into custody, charged with operating a motor vehicle under the influence of alcohol or drugs, first offense, possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, trafficking in a controlled substance, that being methamphetamine, trafficking in a controlled substance drug unspecified, that charge related to what they believe is heroin, possession of marijuana, carrying a concealed deadly weapon by a felony offender, possession of drug paraphernalia, possession of an open alcoholic beverage container in a motor vehicle, and no insurance card. He is still lodged in the Big Sandy Regional Detention Center on those charges at this hour, while the investigation continues by the Johnson County Sheriff's Department, who encourages that anyone who has any knowledge of any illegal drug or other illegal activity to please call them and pass that information along, and they need your information, not your name. You can do so by calling the Sheriff's Department at 789-3411. Shortly after noon earlier today, the Kentucky State Police and authorities were asking for the public's help. A press release sent to media outlets in hopes that it would spur the location of a man that they were looking for accused of rape, sodomy, and endangering the welfare of a minor. The accused they were searching for was identified as a James Garden, who reportedly had sex and sodomized a girl under the age of 12. Shortly after that initial press release was issued, we had confirmation of his arrest. And also knowledge that authorities believe that he raped and sodomized a minor after first gaining the friendship and trust of the child's parents. Police knew that he had a last known address of Ponderosa Court in Ashland, but they also knew that he frequented the areas of Clifford and Yellow Creek in Lawrence County. And with that information, they were hoping to obtain some help from the public. And as I said, they did receive some tips shortly thereafter. And he was arrested, the Ashland man, 53-year-old James F. Garden, officially on a charge of rape in the first degree of a minor who was incapable of consent or had physical helplessness, as well as sodomy in the first degree with the same type of a charge on the end, as well as endangering the welfare of a minor, the victim only said to be under the age of 12. He was lodged in the Big Sandy Regional Detention Center earlier this morning, where of course he still remains. We'll follow the case through his court appearances and keep you up to date. But as of right now, all we can add to this is that the investigation, says the Kentucky State Police, is still ongoing. In just a few moments, a report on a Magoffin County man that the Kentucky State Police say tried to bribe them to keep them from arresting him on trafficking in marijuana and other drug-related charges. I'll be right back. To get high-speed internet on their state-of-the-art fiber optic network for all of your home and business solutions, or to watch TV without a contract on over 200 digital channels with superb quality, or stay connected with family and friends with 24/7 telephone service you can always depend on, contact Foothills Broadband today. Or just click on their link to the right to find out how they're working to provide the latest in communications at affordable prices with exceptional service at Foothills Broadband. The Kentucky State Police, in two separate citations, several pages of which I have before me, say that they arrested a Magoffin County man for trafficking in marijuana over the course of the weekend, and that days later, just yesterday, went back to his residence where he was then arrested on bribery of a public servant, related to the first arrest at his home nights before. In the first citation, Trooper Ryan Hale of Kentucky State Police Post 9 notes that going back to Thursday night at around 11:30, he and fellow Trooper Bond had made contact with a Charlie Ray Rao while trying to serve an EPO. They say that when they went to the front door of the home, they detected the odor of marijuana before knocking on the door, and then upon knocking on the door, it was answered by Rao. And that's when they noticed a very strong smell, or even stronger smell, of marijuana detected by both units of the Kentucky State Police. They asked Rao if he had any marijuana or pot inside, and he stated that he did have a roach bud in his back bedroom. The officers say that they stepped inside the home with the subject, and he went to get the marijuana that he referred to. While doing so, the officers noted that they observed a gallon-sized Ziploc bag of marijuana, approximately 1/4 full, lying in what they said was plain view on the kitchen island, and that beside the marijuana was a metal grinder with marijuana residue, rolling papers to smoke marijuana, a set of electronic scales with marijuana residue, and a small plastic bag containing 20 white oval scored pills with a specific marking. And as well, that next to those items lied Rao's wallet, and inside they found some $670 in cash. They also say that just adjacent to the island, on the counter beside the refrigerator, 2 additional gallon bags were located, each containing what was said to have been at least a few grams of marijuana, and a plastic prescription pill bottle that had had the label removed, which contained 90 white scored oval pills with specific markings. They say that both kinds of pills were preliminarily identified as Neurontin, which Rao said that he did not have a prescription for. When they left, they confiscated the marijuana, the Neurontin, the cash, and the drug paraphernalia, taking them as evidence, and they charged Rao before lodging him in the Big Sandy jail with trafficking in legend drugs, first offense, trafficking in marijuana, prescription of a controlled substance not in its proper container, and possession of drug paraphernalia. But the report or case doesn't end there. Rao, I believe, spent the weekend in jail and was bonded out earlier this week, only to be taken back to jail on an additional charge on yesterday. Around 4 o'clock yesterday afternoon, Trooper Hill arrested Rao on a count of bribery of a public servant. The charge relates to the same evening in which Rao was arrested on the marijuana and other charges. This time, the citation says that both Trooper Hill and Trooper Bond were the subject of an attempted bribery by Rao. They stated that he tried to bribe them with the $670 in cash that they found in his wallet, saying that they could split the money between the 2 troopers if they would just forget anything happened. And on that count of bribery of a public servant, Rao was lodged once again back in the Big Sandy jail. More headlines in a few right now. Let's go on over to tonight's McGoffin Farm Bureau community calendar announcements with first off a reminder that if you've got announcements from your group, club, church, organization, nonprofit, things of that nature, send them in. We'll tell everyone about them. And, of course, if you've got a birthday anniversary, we'll throw those in too. Just make sure you tell me so we can tell everyone about them. For our first reminder, wouldn't necessarily sit back and advise you to wait till the very last moment to get your order in, but call as soon as you can. They will take it up until February the 9th, but, better earlier the better, I guess. Is that a good way to put it? You can order chocolate-covered strawberries and support the McGoffin County High School's project graduation. Get a dozen, milk or white chocolate, for just $25. Order them by the 9th. You pick them up on Valentine's Day. So for yourself, for your sweetheart, for maybe someone you don't even know, you just want to do something nice for somebody, there you have it. Call Becky Allen at the high school, 349-2011, before the 9th to get your order in. And I'll be reminding you throughout next week, but just one more announcement this week so you can kind of mark it down, not this Sunday, but the following. On Saturday the 5th, a Pampered Chef party has been put together at South McGoffin's Fire Department. That's right, South McGoffin Fire Department having a fundraiser, on all-important fundraiser, and, of course, Pampered Chef products are something that anyone would love to have. So, in addition to that, they're giving away a door prize, they're going to serve refreshments, and they hope that you'll join them Sunday the 5th at 3 o'clock. Turning to obituary listings, a reminder and a correction as I have it on screen. 77-year-old Leslie Jones is to be laid to rest tomorrow. Services are to begin at 11 o'clock in the morning and not 1 o'clock in the afternoon as on your screen. My apologies. But nevertheless, a reminder that Leslie Jones passed away this week at 77 years of age, married to Linda Castle Jones, who survives, and he's as well survived by son David Ham and daughters Rebecca Burke, Lisa Jones, and Juanita Preston. The family will receive friends in the morning at 10 and up until services, which begin once again at 11 o'clock tomorrow morning. That is at the Sagersville Funeral Home. And I just a few moments ago received the complete obituary for Wade Isaac, who at the age of 85 and from Mudlick Road passed away yesterday. Wade was preceded in death by his wife, Merlene Gullett Isaac. He survived by sons Billy Joe, Wade Jr., Keen Edward, Matthew and Adam Isaac, and Marcus Castle. Daughters, Judy Williams and Sheila Prater. Visitation starts tomorrow after 5, continues all day Friday with Masonic rites at 7, and services to be held Saturday morning at 11, all from the McGoffin County Funeral Home, and burial afterwards at the Isaac Cemetery on Flat Fork. Kentucky and narrowing the scope, and more specifically, Eastern Kentucky, and even more so than that, the viewing area, had its own Marlena Van Hoos at the presidential inauguration. Wonderful performances before and after. And there were a lot of other Kentucky connections made as well, all of which we were very proud of. None any more than, of course, Miss Van Hoos. But there was also another Kentucky connection, another local connection that I'm just hearing of earlier today. And to find out more, I'll give you in just a second Danny Hall. He is the sales representative for the Northeastern United States for the Logan Corporation here in Sagersville. He's been in that capacity for about a year now, but many of you who might be in the industry or something of that nature may also know that he has been in the industry for about 42 years. Yeah, he's got 42 years of experience in manufacture and sales of dump bodies. He's been working the D.C. area in that field for several years, since 1976. So I knew immediately that he was sure to have some thoughts about seeing a picture of Logan Corporation's dump bodies in the presidential inaugurational parade in Washington, D.C. last week. A line of them purchased by a new excavation company out of Maryland.
Well, it tells people that we're professional enough to go out and get the business, and it's a diversified business. We build products for the region, maybe not for the exactly what they're hauling, but we build products for the region. We build federal bridge trucks for Virginia, North Carolina, Ohio. If you cross the river from Northern Virginia into Maryland, the trucks completely change. We got to keep up on all that and make sure people get what they want. You know, I think when this company first started, we sat down together and at that time I was just maybe in an advisory role, and one of the things they told me that we would be building a quality product before we even struck the first arc or burnt the first piece of metal out. So, and I found that to be true ever since I've worked here.
And something else I learned, it does take more than just a quality product to sell truck bodies all over the United States and elsewhere. It relies heavily on a network of truck dealers, companies in mining, earth moving, and other fields and areas. And it takes a quality product, of course, from Logan, people like Mr. Hall with all of his decades of experience, and all of those other folks all together to get their product all over the United States. A product made right here in Sagersville.
Yeah, there's a network in place that makes all of this work. We're in constant contact. That's one of my jobs, to be in constant contact, not only with the dealerships that will buy our product, but they're also excavators, us knowing when they're going to make the purchase and stuff like that. Right now, I guess the biggest thing going on in Washington, D.C. is Interstate 66 is going to be widened in both directions, coming out of Washington, D.C. into 22 miles out on I-66. And that's going to take a whole lot of trucks.
Yeah. And more than likely, it will be another time that you'll see Logan Corporation's bodies on those trucks, not just the presidential inaugurational parade, but construction projects in and around D.C. and all over the country. Logan told me also earlier today that they have manufactured about 25 of those dump bodies and sent them out the door of their Sagersville facility, and they're still just getting settled in, still working very hard to continue the expansion and to get all of the items and tools and equipment that they can implemented into their new Sagersville structure, and that number is going to continue to climb, and you will continue to hear more from them on maybe more of a routine basis here on Your News Today, beginning very, very soon. With all of that said, only 2 more days, but more than a couple of special reports that I hope to air before we leave you for the week, before I leave you for tonight. Well, big change in the weather. We've known it was coming. Doesn't necessarily mean you have to like it unless you are looking for a return to winter. Now back to your weather and wrapping up tonight's show, and a cold front that we're starting to see the effects of. A nice little line of showers and some good ones for some folks coming through the eastern Kentucky and viewing area. Temperature's not falling as much as the rain just yet. I'm still at 57 degrees right now at the end of the early show, but oh, that indeed is going to change. Before in the morning, we'll see about 36 degrees for nighttime lows, and those showers will be continuing in a light fashion during the overnight. Gusts, you'll start to notice them. Well, you already have, especially when the line came through out of the west-southwest, 11 miles per hour, or even a little bit greater at times. As for your Thursday, we'll follow up tonight by falling temperatures. Yeah, I think a slight chance of some rain showers in the morning and a slight chance of rain and snow as well. Temperatures falling to around 33 by 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. You can bring in some winds as well out of the west, 11 to 23 mile per hour gust, and that will be cold enough to see some flakes fly about on your Thursday. Into your Thursday night, still a continued 20% chance of rain and or snow showers, mainly before 10 o'clock. Winds will still be coming out of the west, not quite as great, maybe 9 to 15 mile per hour gusts at most by late tomorrow night or tomorrow evening. As for your Friday, guess what? A chance of snow showers in the afternoon. Only 30% or so, but it is a chance. It's also a day where we'll see once again the mid-30s. Winds not as great, but still out of the west, maybe 8 to 10. You could see a 15 mile per hour gust blow through, but not as great, I don't think, as we will see tomorrow. That 30% chance of precipitation for your Friday will be mostly in the form of white and not wet. The pattern of snow showers and flurries takes a break for, I think, much of Saturday. I think partly sunny skies and pretty much calm conditions, around 38 degrees, nighttime lows well below freezing at 27. By late Saturday night, another round of some precipitation, and as cold as it's going to be, you know what color it's going to be. And those snow showers are likely to increase into your Sunday. A chance of snow showers and then a likelihood of some snow showers in the afternoon, about 1 to 3, maybe even a little bit afterwards, a high of 35, accumulating snow. It's possible. We'll let you know more tomorrow and certainly by the end of the work week for us. But there's also a chance that we'll see some sunshine on your Monday as well. Still, though, a 20% chance of snow showers at the first of next week. So some flurries between now and Sunday, but Sunday, our best bet for some of the white stuff. That's it for now. Thanks for watching. Have a good night. Hope to see you tomorrow. Same time, same channel, same place.